am an overt CIA officer that often talks about the problems with how the U.S. government handles foreign policy, domestic policy, etc. So, I mean, I have people who come to me with very thin veils. I probably get 1 or 2 WhatsApp messages a month that are directly from foreign influence agents who are offering me paid jobs to write articles for their news source, right? And they come to me as third parties. So I'll get like, hey, we're looking for people to write an article on American soft power in India. And we pay $1 a word or $2 a word. Anybody who knows what the going rate is for writers knows $1 to $2 a word is super high.
It's a good deal, right?
It's a great deal, right? So who wouldn't say yes to writing 500 words about American soft power in India?
Yeah, ChatGPT that immediately. Like, what are we talking about?
But then you'll see that the third party, especially when you just do a quick Google search, the third party is some research organization in Kuala Lumpur or Thailand or Vietnam, and you realize like, oh, I'm writing for the Chinese government, or I'm writing for the Russian government, or I'm writing for the North Korean government, and they're just using a cutout to actually use to get to me. And that's a common thing that not just me, but many former government officers have to deal with. So yes, we get DMs on Instagram. Yes, we get DMs on Twitter. But like when you're that potentially valuable, they'll just go straight to a data broker. They'll go straight to AT&T or Sprint and just buy the records of every user looking for your name on that record.
Wow.
And if you think about it, it's a numbers game. Like right now, CIA, the last number I heard, CIA loses 1 undercover officer a month. They leave, they quit, they resign, they retire. 1 a month. It used to be 2 a year, right? And now they lose 6 times as many people because people just don't want to work for CIA anymore. So when they lose 1 undercover officer a month, that means every year there's 12 new people out there, at least, who are available for work. So if they pull all the AT&T, Sprint, and Verizon records, they basically have every record of every American in the United States. We are now leaving CIA. There's a history of resignation, retirement paperwork, et cetera. Well, they've hacked OPM, the Office of Personnel Management. So now they cross-reference the two. They find all the names of that month or that year, and they just start sending WhatsApps to all of us.
Wow.
Eventually, somebody is going to be going through a divorce, paying for college, losing a job, have a dental bill. Something's going to happen where they say, yes, I'll write that article for $2 a word.
Wow. That's interesting. I mean, that seems like a big, like intelligence gap.
It is. And it's a major problem because what ends up happening is the only way that the federal government can actually, because the government can't monitor us because we're still American citizens. So they don't have the right without criminal liability. They don't have the right to monitor our Gmail accounts or our phones or anything like that. So they have to rely on us self-reporting when it happens. I self-report when it happens all the time. And I never get a response back. I'm like, hey guys, this just happened. The few times that I've gotten a response back, it was like funny government speak where you're like, what poor intern had to write this email to me because it took 15 paragraphs to just say thank you for submitting your thing, right? Either
hilarious.
way, it's comical. But they have to rely on self-reporting. So about once or twice a year, we get a reminder. I get a reminder from CIA that says, hey, Mr. Bustamante, just to remind you, you are an overt CIA officer with access to classified information and you fall under your criminal liability of your lifetime secrecy agreement, blah, 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 blah. And as you continue to appear on podcasts and write books and appear on television, we want to encourage you to understand, that if you violate these terms, you will be held criminally liable. So they do that for all of us.
Wow.
But it's only once or twice a year because they know the only way to understand what's happening is through self-reporting. And when we self-report, it goes to some poor summer intern.
Well, be careful, okay? I don't want you to end up at some black site or some
Camp Gagnon, where it all falls apart for me.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, we should turn this into a black site. Wouldn't that be sick?
Turning it into a black site would be sick. What happens in a black site is not so fun.
Yeah, not as good.